How hard would it be to pull off a regime change war listening to kettle drums and just having the island vibes, like people
Oh no,
juggling?
no, it would be easy and fun.
Hello,
Until
Internet. How are you? Welcome to Outrage Factory episode 285. Adrian's back. For all
All
those
right.
people who sat through just me and all my ramblings, congratulations. You should get a medal. Uh, I don't expect you listen to my boil a lobster episode, Adrian.
No, of course
Okay.
not.
I was like started and I was going to talk about this guy from England who was talking about how he's upset he can't boil lobsters anymore, and then ended up bitching about it for like 40 minutes. It was great.
He lost the ability to boil a lobster?
No, you're not allowed to in England because Boris Johnson set up this like animal act. You'd have to listen to the episode to get the full story, but basically it boils down 40 minutes boiled down to 30 seconds is Boris Johnson passed this sentience animal act where it's like you're not allowed to harm animals that are sentient, and they just decided lobsters are sentient, so now you can't boil them alive. And this guy was
Well,
like, "It's a
lobsters are
Christmas
sentient.
tradition."
No,
What's that?
I got it is. It's both those things, but there's surely lobster. I think lobsters are sentient, probably.
Oh yeah, and oh dude, the
But
craziest thing, when you boil them, it takes 3 minutes to kill them. And now,
oh,
for like restaurants, they have this new thing called crustastan, and it's basically a box the size of a toaster oven that's basically an electric chair for lobsters, but it kills them in like 0.2 seconds.
right.
And that's 40 minutes of the episode.
This might be the wrong time for me to consider this topic because my week, well, yeah, my whole week has been I have two dogs and a cat,
Yeah.
and they've all been vomiting. It's been great. It's been great here.
Are you
And
gonna
then
invest in a dogistan?
wait, no, this gets way worse. And then okay, I got these two dogs. One's a spaniel who
Hmm.
I love dearly, but he's an oaf.
Like
And
a
then
cocker spaniel?
yeah, cocker, purebred English cocker spaniel. He's great. He's so
Wait,
great.
are all spaniels cocker spaniels, or is there different
No,
spaniels?
no, I think there's a whole bunch of different kinds of
Oh, okay.
spaniels. Just like there's different kinds of loggers.
Sure. I'm here for it. If you want to talk about loggers for 40 minutes, I'm down. We could
So
talk about.
that's sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I know we don't want to waste the listeners, viewers' time, but Augie's amazing, and he's a
Yeah.
very good half or step, no, adopted brother to Kiki, who's this big. She's a mongrel, but we think maybe part German Shepherd, part Whippet. And Kiki's had a really
What a
tough life.
mix.
Yeah. So she's big and very slim and she's beautiful, beautiful dog. Uh, but also the most docile, placid, loving. I mean,
Yeah.
there's this dog's quite magical.
That sounds like
But
neither a Whippet or a German Shepherd.
well, here's the thing. She was the runt of the litter, and
Oh,
when we adopted her, she was born somewhere outside of Nanaimo in very rough circumstances. And
yikes.
my daughter looking for a crippled dog. She wanted to adopt a crippled dog. So she found
For the
this
gram,
for what?
for the Instagram pictures to have a crippled
No,
dog.
this would be more TikTok era, I think.
Mm.
I don't know, but she found this dog, little puppy. It had already had one of its eyes removed
Oh,
because she was born with these birth defects. And then we adopted her, and then she was the greatest. And then after about she's only like 8 weeks old when the first eye went, and after about another year, we had the second one removed.
hmm.
Not because it was necessary, but because in our house we really value symmetry. That's not true. It was actually her eye got really sick and it had to go. So she was spayed. So she's had three surgeries. Anyway, here's what happened this week. She got really sick, and the vomiting had twisted her stomach. So she had to have like the most major surgery yesterday, emergency surgery. And often it doesn't, if you don't catch it in time, the stomach will die. It'll go gangrenous. And but we got her just in time. And because I live on an island, we don't have 24-hour veterinary care. So we had to bring her home last night, like hours after the surgery, and care for her through the evening, like
Yeah.
administer meds and fucking keep vigil. And it's all very touch and go and harem scarum, but she's fine.
Oh,
She's
that's
doing
good.
great. So, I'm emotional right now about animals.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, so that's why it's a bad time. Okay, I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah. So like
No,
the idea of boiling a lobster, I
yeah,
want to save that fucking lobster, man.
that's true.
But I also understand it is tradition, and I don't know. People die horribly as well.
That's true.
It's a bit of a roulette, a bit of
Yeah.
a lottery.
Oh, excuse me. Get the burpees. So, now that I'm glad your dog's doing okay.
Thanks for listening.
I was pretty scared that we were gonna be talking dead dog by the end of this podcast, and that would have
So
been heartbreaking.
yeah, it would have been. No, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have done the
Oh,
podcast.
that's a good point. Yeah. I mean, if you ever need an excuse, you don't have to go that far. You could just
uh,
be like, I don't want to,
well, that's
not
not
my
going to
dog
happen.
just died.
Touch wood. Yeah. Anyway,
Okay,
so
so
yeah, here's a good way to start up Outrage Factory in
yeah, hey,
2026.
isn't it sad when animals die? How's it going, everybody? No, actually, to completely change the topic like a
Yeah.
sociopath and pretend that didn't happen. Not just kidding. Um, at the end of after the 40 minutes of lobster talk last episode, I started talking about this Chinese billionaires using American surrogates. And I was like, no, I got to save this for Adrian because this is a subject I want to discuss with my conspiracy guru, Adrian.
So you better fill me in on this. I don't, because I don't pay attention to the world
Okay,
anymore.
the long and short of it is they've China has outlawed surrogacy. So these Chinese billionaires are going to America and they're hiring surrogates for like 30 grand and they're like sending their jizz mail, I guess. And then they're like impregnating these
Hell,
women in America.
Maxwell? What?
Yeah. So, and they've alleged, here, I'm going to pull up the article. Um, So it's Chinese billionaires create mega families, quote, quote, through US breeding program. So what happened is like they're saying that one of them has 100 children in America. And there's like this one guy, apparently he was like, "Oh, I got inspired by Tesla or Elon Musk, the Tesla billionaire, because he has 14 children. Some of them are out of wedlock, most of them, I guess you could say." So anyways, oh wait, some of the it wasn't 30 grand, it was 200 grand. So I wanted to talk to you, but this is like basically all we know is like, so they're gonna try get rid of this or whatever, and China's upset that these billionaires are finding this loophole to have all these people. So basically, the Chinese billionaires are saying we want to do this because we don't have heirs, and we don't want the Chinese government to take up all our funds, so we want to have someone to leave it to. And then there's like they're kind of poking at it in this article, but they're not talking about how there's like the US born citizenship thing. What's that called? Sorry, because it brings it up, but it doesn't go into it. Like how, how Trump, oh, birthright citizenship, how Trump was like trying to get rid of that so that illegal aliens couldn't leave anchor babies.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, so Trump, like one of his um deporting everybody things was he's attempting to dismantle the birthright citizenship through the Supreme Court challenge
Okay.
because he
Oh,
doesn't think like people who are pregnant should like come into America
yeah.
legally or go into America. I'm not in America, have a baby,
I
and
see.
then
I see.
that baby automatically be an American citizen, which is like constitution bullshit. I don't know. Get someone smart and boring to explain it to you, but he's trying to get rid of that. And which could be a hinky because if you have like a Chinese billionaire who has 100 kids in the States
Yeah.
who are all automatically American citizens, and
Right.
then they get this guy's billions of dollars to them, so they each get like what 100 million. So you and he's like openly talking about how hey we should have like this big family culty thing going. So what do you think about this?
I don't know. Is it if it's real? I don't even know where to begin with that.
Let's just pretend
Uh,
it's real.
why? Okay, we're assuming it's real. What's
Mhm.
the issue with a Chinese billionaire having 100 heirs in the States who will probably provide value in some way
I mean,
to that?
if he made $1 billion in China, he's got to have big brains. So you imagine that his half
Well,
kids,
it means a lot of money is going. I'm not. So if we're going to assume that this is real, we
yeah,
also have to assume that the market and money and international borders work the way that we pretend they do,
that's a
right?
good
And that
point. That's
and
probably the most fantastical part of this whole story.
yeah, that the law is something we actually
Yeah.
understand. Like there's different laws for those those people. I don't mean those people as I mean those people as in like the fucking lizards is what I mean. And
Oh yeah.
the billionaire class. And I don't know, like what makes me does I can't help but be reminded that Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were both highly invested in seeding humanity
Oh, they
with his
were.
seed, right? His sperm, and he was farming. This is what the Nevada Ranch apparently was doing, and he had his fingers. They had their fingers in, you know, uh, like cloning and CRISPR and all sorts
Oh
and
my
genetic
God,
technologies.
could you imagine if the whole reason they're hiding the Epstein files is because he has 1,000 Epstein clones running around the states?
Well, so I'm thinking about this right now because I did listen to an interview. I'll need to look up her name before we go. So on William Ramsey Investigates last week, he was talking to the author. She's a South African journalist who had written or I guess gotten possession of the diaries or the journals of an Epstein survivor. And some of the stuff that she was saying in the most sober and articulate way, and thank goodness she had a listener who was open to what she was saying. But the suggestion, not the it's not necessarily true, but it's a possibility. The suggestion did emerge from that conversation that maybe the Epstein who was found dead in jail was not the original version.
Oh, that's
And
one.
look, I know how that
He
sounds.
was a clone.
Well, Dolly the sheep was cloned what 40 years ago?
Oh yeah, that's scary how long ago that was. And then they pretend they're like it's against the law, and there and everybody was like, we
Right.
will never do this again.
What's scary to contemplate for me is that what we were allowed to know with 40 years ago with Dolly was already a sliver. It was like
Mm,
the most down market version of whatever technology had was in their hands at that point. And now think of the advances since then.
that's true. That's scary. Okay, so I Googled what did you say was his name? The guy William
William
Ramsey
Ramsey
investigates.
Investigates. It was an interview from maybe 5, 6 days ago.
Oh my God, he
Her
has
name,
3 episodes a day.
yeah, he's pretty prolific.
Wow.
And
Uh,
he's not going to spend a whole hour talking about some Chinese guy's jizz.
Sarah McCarthy.
There it is.
The episode you are speaking of came out December 29th. Blue Butterfly Inside the Diary of an Epstein Survivor. The new book by Sarah McCarthy.
Yeah,
It's an hour and a half.
yeah.
I mean, go listen to
And what, and
Manchurian Candidate.
another thing that emerges from that conversation is that the whole sex trafficking thing, while big and enormous, and
Hmm.
obviously, extremely evil,
Yeah.
uh, is kind of a red herring in
Oh
terms
yeah,
of some
definitely.
of
It's all about the weapons, man.
the
That's
weapons.
my claim. It's Epstein was in on all these fucking black site fucking weapons deals. Like he was part of the Iran Contra deal,
Yeah,
and
we've
that
talked about this. Yeah,
yeah, he
he's
was
been
with
a,
he was Khashoggi's uncle's protege,
Hmm.
and then yeah,
Right.
so
Well, so this McCarthy lady, what's the book called? Blue Butterfly?
yeah,
It's on Trine Day. It's published by Trine Day, which has published a lot of. There's another puzzle. Trine Day Publishing. I've got a lot of their books. We a few weeks ago talked about uh, A Terrible Mistake, the book by Hank Albarelli, which I
hmm
declared on your show was like one of the primary texts about mind control programs.
nice. Yeah, yeah.
So that's
I looked
good.
it up, but there is no audio version on Spotify
Yeah,
or
right. Uh,
Audible,
well,
so.
I'm not surprised to hear that. They also did, the Franklin scandal, lots of books.
Oh shit, the
The,
Franklin scandal. That reminds me. When we're ready to move on to the next topic, I have a whopper. A whopper to
let
drop.
me mention one more book published by Trine Day, and
Okay.
it's something that needs to be said. They published Dr. Wendy Painting's book, Aberration in the Heartland of the Real, which is a brick. It's a fucking brick. It's about 1,000 pages long,
Oh, can't
and
wait.
but it's oh my God, what a piece of work it is, and it's really her lifelong. She's not that. Well, she's pretty old. It's old enough. This is her investigation into the Oklahoma City bombing and Timothy McVeigh.
Wow.
And it started as I think a doctoral thesis or something. It started with her, or well, she's a doctor.
Yeah.
So that was expanded into this book, which really just abolishes basically every sort of popular narrative about McVeigh and that bombing, and really adds flesh to what were maybe previously, sort of simple-minded quote unquote conspiracy theories. No, she uncovered so much. It's a really shocking book.
hmm
But something happened where it was reissued or reprinted and it came out all garbled. And I know she's been online, begging people to try to get the earlier version or something. So Trying Day tends to be a bit of a gatekeeping outfit in some ways.
Oh, so they're like controlled opposition
I
basically, where
don't
they're like, "We'll publish your crazy book."
Well, like I know the owner his family was in intelligence, but
Mm.
he seems to have been on the right side for a very long time. And the truth is, like some of the books they've brought out are really they're essential. But yeah,
I mean, it is a very good tactic to like this book in particular, like you said, it's all garbled. So you publish a book that spreads the truth, and then you're like, give it a limited run, whatever, and then you republish the book and be like, this is the book everybody's talking about, has all the truth in it, and then you just fucking like intelligence agency it, so make it just completely different and be like, it's the same book, guys. I don't know what you're talking about, and then it's like
and then it's
basically
out there. It
turns it
doesn't
into
matter. It
psyop.
doesn't matter. Yeah, whatever excuse you offer. It's point is it's out there now.
Yeah.
And, so yeah, it's uh, damaging the work. But anyway, she's on Trying Day. This Blue Butterfly. Again, I don't want to. I want to be fair. Trying Days published a lot of really, really important texts, I think.
Nice.
Anyway, so what's your Whopper?
Okay, so the Franklin scandal,
Yeah,
you explained it to me a couple weeks ago, probably a couple months, and the Unification Church, and you're like, we shouldn't talk about this because it's like, it's big bad, it's big scary conspiracy. And you know who's been fucking talking about it?
no.
Candace Owens.
Oh, Jesus.
She brought it up, and I was like, oh my fucking God.
What did she bring up exactly?
Okay, okay, this is gonna blow your fucking mind. This is this is why I love Candace Owens. She just like she starts at like she started with like Bridget Macron, and then she
Yeah,
just went fucking all across the map, and then she started talking about the Stanford experiment, how
right.
like when Bridget Macron was a dude, she was actually part of the Stanford experiment, and it was
Oh,
all fucking CIA dudes, and like whatever French secret police or whatever their intelligence agency is, and they were all doing it, and it was all this like big like, and then she's like, maybe she got fucking MK altered while she was doing the fucking Stanford experiment, and then that's why she turned into a woman, and then that's why she married Macron, and then that's how she became like the first lady, and it's all this stuff. So it's crazy. But then she like Charlie Kirk gets assassinated, and she was like a good friend with him, so she's just been basically since it's happened, she's just been picking apart the whole official narrative of this. And then she fucking gets into the Church of Unification or the Unification Church, and she's like gets into the fucking Mooney. So I hear the Moonies and I'm like, I'm fucking in. So what happened was, so what she's saying is the Unification Church or whatever. I think she said they turned into like Liberty University or something, or like the Unification Church was held up by the Moonies, right? It was like something to do with the
Yeah.
Moonies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So there's this thing called the Liberty College or Liberty University, and
Right.
it started Turning Point USA Faith
Oh,
came out of Liberty University, but the Shangping Moon or whatever the guy was, the head of the Moonies.
Sun Myung Moon.
Yeah, in the 90s, he actually saved Liberty University because it was going out of business. So he gave a huge cash donation. So Candace Owens is saying that they were grooming Charlie Kirk to become the head of the fucking Moonies, and he said no, and that's why he died. And that's the
So
craziest
yeah, that.
slash sexiest, most delicious conspiracy theory I've ever heard. So of course I love it.
But you're still in, and I love this about you, and I
Yeah,
wish that I wish I could join you in your in your euphoria. But yeah, you're still in the conspiracy theories are fun stage of your journey,
yeah.
and I'm not there. Well, it's a part of me still there, but this is, I mean, this is, this is just nonsense on its face.
Well, see, what you got to do is you got to ignore that the whole world is run by fucking satanic pedophiles for like 5 minutes. And
Yeah.
then you just got to go, maybe it's just weirdo occultists who aren't satanic pedophiles, which is, and then like she's always, and then she started fucking, so Candace Owens is just like, she's like
She's a well
prime.
poisoner. She is a well poisoner.
Yeah, probably because
No,
what
she
she's
is.
saying should be untouchable, big scary conspiracy theories. Like
What?
if if the system worked to ratchet back conspiracy theories like it used to Alex Jones and tried to bankrupt him, she wouldn't be allowed to just openly talk about the Unification Church
Wrong.
and how the Moonies like did the
Oh,
Franklin scandal.
she's just next in line. She's like there. He's been dispensed with.
Yeah.
They've
He's like
used him.
a Jewish shill now. He's a Zionist apparently. And
Is
he's
he
like
really?
he's going after her, like
Yeah.
setting up a
So
what side are you on fake fucking AstroTurfs thing.
right, right.
But like
So they're a sideshow now.
yeah, I'm starting to agree with you that she's like controlled opposition or like a psyop or like what's that thing in China where it was like the 100 Days of Flowers or whatever, where
I
they're
don't
like
know.
it was like you could say whatever you wanted about the new like I think this was
Oh,
like when Mao took over. So it's like they're like say whatever you want about this guy. We're reading your files. We're gonna take this like creative criticism and then they just killed everybody who said something negative. Like I feel like that's what it is. Like somebody was saying it was like she was basically like
okay. Sorry, go on. Sorry.
she's like some sort of like Pied Piper for conspiracy theories
No,
where she
I
says
do think there's something to this.
she's
That now
yeah.
here now I'm on board with you. I do
Mhm,
think that that is the purpose of people like Candace Owens, and the same way I think it's the purpose of QAnon. I
mhm.
mean QAnon has been by now. I hope people have
Oh
let
yeah.
go of that. It should be obvious by now that it was an operation, and it was an operation that was run by people in authority, people in power,
Yeah.
uh, and it was meant to identify a certain group and exploit them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But once you identify a certain group, you can exploit them more. You could do
Yeah.
anything with them. You could really ruin their lives.
Yeah, and I like what you said
They're
about
yours.
like she's a well poisoner because it's like she's just saying all this crazy shit so that Dale comes on his podcast and repeats all the crazy shit and then people are like all of that other intelligent conspiracy stuff Dale said that was totally valid and had a basis in fact is now tainted by his crazy conspiracy stuff. But I've always been the guy who's like, let's just say the craziest shit because that's the most interesting.
I know, I do know that about you, and I also know that beneath all of that is a man who cares deeply about his child's future
I do.
and takes it all very seriously at the
Hmm.
same time, right? But yeah, Candace Owens. What was I going to say? It reminds me. It's also very convenient, isn't it? Because the thing is, the Moonies or the Moon, Reverend Moon, and the Unification Church were power players in DC, and
Yeah.
and actually had some purchase there. So they're not to be ignored at all. And the cult thing is, it's a nice salacious, kind of sleazy cover for their real operations.
Hmm.
Um, and it grabs everybody's attention, and she's on that level. But what she's doing there is like, yeah, she's bringing up something where if you do just a little bit of reading, you're like, actually, there is something to this whole unification church. They do need they should not be dismissed.
Hmm.
But she mixes it up with all this garbage.
Yeah, she's basically just giving people like earworms so that they go Google shit and get picked up by the NSA.
Yeah.
But she
Yeah,
what
that's
she
all. I do think you're right about that. I do think that that's part of it. People are always being profiled. We're in a fucking surveillance
yeah,
state now, or a
like
global surveillance state, whether you like it or not.
if I was going
And
to be put on a list, it would have been in fucking college for watching David
you're
Icke
on a
videos.
thousand lists, and who knows?
I
Well,
hope they're watching this right now. But what I did want to say, I want to go back to this because she was saying that because she has like, I don't know, I just fucking love the way she like talks about shit because she's like, oh, it is weird how the Moonies kind of came out of South Korea after the Korean War, after the CIA sent all these generals there. And then I think she's actually really scratching at something that's like, could be very big in the States, and that's just how the military's involved in all these churches. Like how
mhm.
these churches are popping up and all these pastors are ex-generals and all that shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And how,
Well,
and like,
they've always been in cahoots. I mean, there's a
yeah.
very close relationship between all of those. Like organized religion in the States, yeah, post-war certainly, and the intelligence community, and anything that exerts an influence over an enormous number of people.
Hmm.
Anything that's useful in terms of social engineering, of course
Yeah.
there was.
Like, of course, you're going to set like military tentacles into this like already laid out way to control the masses.
Yeah, yeah.
And like,
It's
because you
just
did have the
it's
church
just
committee.
they're all partners. They're all partners. It wasn't actually called the KCIA, the Korean Intelligence Service, and I think Moon might have even actually emerged from that. I think it's called the
Oh,
KCIA,
maybe.
but I'm
See,
not.
this is why I love talking to you because I don't know any like any old facts. I just know what people like Candace Owens say, and then I'll remember it for 3 weeks and then I'll forget.
No, you can come to me for a hazy sort of. My memory's not good, and as I get older, it's a lot of it's just fucking falling off of me,
How about
like
this?
tears in the rain.
Give
But
me your hazy facts, and I will fill them with crazy, fantastical facts that I
I
just
don't know
think
if that's a
happened.
good project. I don't know if that's useful or if the universe benefits from that.
But if we
We do.
combine
You
our
and I
powers,
benefit.
Adrian, we could be the next well poisoner.
I don't want to be a well
Oh,
poisoner.
that's a good point. That would hurt our own feelings.
Especially after all this time.
Yeah, that's true.
After all the blows. Am I supposed to
After all this time of rejecting money and being like having a moral compass to just to sell out at this point and be like, fine, just
It would be so
give me
pathetic.
a bunch of money now that I'm too old to enjoy it.
Yeah, all prompted by a glass of red wine and you on this fucking podcast.
Oh my
Do it
God.
all in a moment.
Speaking
Anyway,
of,
so
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 the
yeah,
last
your
episode, yeah.
Whopper wasn't all that wasn't that all that whopping to me.
Dude, the Franklin scandal is not a Whopper?
How
The
did that come into it?
Unification Church, the
Oh,
Moonies?
I guess yeah, I know. I see what you.
Dude, the
Yeah, yeah,
Moonies
okay.
killed fucking Charlie Kirk? How is that not a Whopper?
Well, there is
That's
something.
literally the biggest thing I've heard this year.
The
Sorry for cutting
fucking
you off.
no, the bigger whopper is like Charlie Kirk's assassination is really, really mysterious, increasingly, and that's the whopper.
Oh yeah, listen
Candace Owens convenient, like it's like the first order of shit that came out right after JFK or any assassinations. All the
Mhm.
shit comes out first, and then it persists.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I mean, like I just mentioned or earlier mentioned that fuck, that book by Wendy Painting, Aberration in the Heartland of the Real. That when that book started to get real traction online and it was, being seriously considered as a major piece of investigative investigation.
Hmm.
Uh, Jeffrey Toobin, the well-known CNN masturbator, published
I
published
love
his
that that's
book.
his legacy.
He published his book about McVeigh and Oklahoma, which of
Oh, really?
course was an absolute travesty that didn't even particularly hard, as I understand it, to reassert the official narrative.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm not even sure what I'm saying.
Have you read his manifesto, Timothy McVeigh's? He
No,
was a
but I have read Jeffrey Toobin's.
I
Oh
just
boy.
watched the video.
Oh yeah, I know. It's just that his manifesto is just a blank page, but it's stuck together. Jeffrey Toobin.
Is that guy
God,
still around?
Toobin. Yeah, he published that is his way out of like you know A-list mainstream American US media hell, jail, prison was to like publish this fucking stupid book about
Is it
Timothy
like,
McVeigh in order to counter as a counter offensive to Wendy Painting's increasingly
mm,
her work was being noticed. There was some traction there. So then this happens. And now Jeffrey Toobin's okay again, I guess.
I thought like books were just like some sort of loophole to give ex politicians and stuff a whole bunch of money for no reason and for it to be legal. Because it's like you have all these politicians who are like, you can't just give them $400,000. So you could do like Hillary Clinton, where you just pay her to talk, or the Obamas and be like, hey, why don't you go talk to this bank for $1 million? And they're like, sure. You get some of them who just write a book, and you're like, here's $800,000 for a book no one will read.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Did you not read Bill Clinton's autobiography?
No, I did not.
What about
I
Hillary's?
have not read a book in a long time.
Oh man.
I
I'm
haven't
reading
actually read a book in probably a decade. I
you ought to
listened
read
to
a
a
book.
bunch.
Oh,
What?
you listen to them. That's right. So can I tell you what I'm reading right now that's just if I'm off my rhythm tonight, it's
Dude,
partly because my dog nearly died,
well,
but
other than
also
that, let me ask you a question.
sure.
One of the reasons I don't really like reading books is because I don't know if it's just like I get too into it, but it's like I feel like I leave my body and go into the book. And then
Yeah.
if I'm reading like a book that's either too good or too weird, I just feel like weird for a day when I
Yeah.
stop reading it. Like I used to read all these fantasy books, and then it's like there's this one weird one. It was like I never read anything like super good or anything, but they're just like weirdly intriguing. Like I read this one where this cop goes through a portal and he goes to some like other dimension where they have this like armor where they shoot lasers out of their hand, and then it's just like him rising through power in this other society, and it's like this social commentary through this like war, like almost like Viking society based in like some sci-fi future. And it was just like I read it and it was just like this crazy like in-depth thing, and then I stopped reading it and I was just like, what? It's just like so weird to like go back to normal life after you've like been reading about this thing for like a month.
Right. And don't you miss that feeling?
Kinda, but no.
Yeah, I do know what you mean. I mean, so I don't read a lot of fiction anymore. I am reading the new Thomas Pynchon right now, which is
Hmm.
delightful. It's delightful. I'm really loving late Pynchon because it's all
What does he
there,
write?
everything that you want,
Hmm.
but was so dense and convoluted and impenetrable, 40, 50 years ago, is now packaged it's in such an entertaining way. It's really good. But
Okay.
but I'm also reading this thing called Eye of the Chicken Hawk by Simon Dovey,
Mm,
who you can find on Twitter or X as I think his handle is the Hot Star at the Hot Star.
hmm
And speaking of, uh, really impressive and penetrating investigations, this is about, well, you know what? I'm just going to leave it at that. Look it up. Eye of the Chicken Hawk by Simon Dovey.
Well, I'm just gonna leave it at the
I am going to
deeply
leave it at that because I don't want to get into this.
piercing,
It's very, very, very dark. But
very dark.
oh yeah.
I think
Um,
you've anti-sold me on this book.
yeah. I hope I haven't because it's pretty profound, I think. But
I like profound.
yeah, you do. It's very
um,
good.
okay. Got about 20 minutes left. What else do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I thought there was you. Where's my list of headlines?
We got Candace Owens shit we talked about.
Oh,
Talked about the Chinese billionaires. And I got two left that are pretty big bummers and political. So, do you want to talk political shit or do you want to just talk about something else?
I want to go wherever you want to go, Dale.
I don't know.
Go
Because
political. Let's what was the political one?
there's the Venezuela thing.
Oh God, no. Fuck, of course that
See,
happened.
you can tell it's a good subject when you just fucking bury your face in your hands and say, "Oh God." I do
Well, it's
want to
not like we
just
didn't see
say,
it coming. I mean,
as
so
far
I have
as yeah, as far as regime change wars go, this one was pretty painless, I would say.
I
They
guess, yeah,
they
yeah.
only killed 80 Cuban mercenaries, which I mean, it's not like their lives aren't worth that much, but if you're a Cuban mercenary, I feel like that's worth on the scale of morality, it's a little lighter killing than, say, citizens or women and children, like they did in Gaza.
Yeah, in terms of public relations, it's a pretty
Yeah.
it's an acceptable it's an acceptable slaughter.
I feel like we shouldn't feel that bad when mercenaries die. I feel like
Well,
that's the one because it's like you're a gun for hire and you're basically like Maduro had all these like Colombian mercenaries hired because he was paying them in oil. So what he would do is he'd send his crude oil to Colombia and they would send like soldiers and stuff to look out for him because I feel like since he was the illegitimate leader since he lost the election in 2024 and just never gave it up, I feel like Maduro couldn't trust Venezuelan military to guard him, so he would
hmm.
get Colombian mercenaries or
Colombian or you said Cuban, didn't you?
did I say Cuban? I meant
Anyway,
Colombian. Sorry,
uh,
every time this is just my ignorance shining through because I didn't know where Venezuela was exactly on a map before. I didn't know it was Brazil's hat, but now I do.
Brazil's hat.
Yeah,
I
it's like
thought
right
I thought
upon
it was I thought it was between Iceland and Finland.
that's Greenland.
Okay, I'm kidding.
Okay,
But I've never
so
thought of it as Brazil's hat.
yeah, I don't know. That's what it looks like on a map.
All right.
Also, it's part of the Caribbean Ocean or sea or whatever you call.
Yeah,
Like
a lot of Latin and South America is. It's
we're gonna
weird.
have fucking a war, a regime change war on white sand beaches.
We're not. I mean, that yeah.
I mean,
So
if I was a soldier and I could either go to Fallujah or a white sand beach, guess where I want to go?
Fallujah was very sandy.
Yeah, but the wrong sand. It was a desert. It wasn't a beach.
Yeah.
Can't. There's no kettle drums in Fallujah.
Yeah, no, it's
Um,
that's right. There aren't guys juggling with flaming
dude,
tongs.
how hard would it be to pull off a regime change war, listening to kettle drums and just having the island vibes, like people
Oh no.
juggling?
No, it would be easy and fun.
Yeah.
But uh yeah, you're right about the whole mercenary thing. It's good PR, I suppose. But I don't know. I again I have questions that I can't even articulate on this thing this podcast of yours. Uh I'm still I can't quite get my head around them. We do have, I've known a lot of Venezuelans
Oh,
as an
have you?
adult.
I've never known one.
All
I
right, I know a
probably have,
few.
but didn't know they're from Venezuela.
I knew a few Venezuelans when my kids were much smaller, and
Hmm.
we were living in Vancouver, and you still had Chavez, who I admired at the time as a sort of a, what was he, a Bolivarian like hero. I thought he was one of the good guys.
Yeah, he was a
I'm
socialist revolutionary who drove his country into the ground.
Yeah, that's the thing. And so I knew Venezuelans who were, middle class Venezuelans who had fled
Yeah.
and hated what was happening and hated him.
Hmm.
And now I know Venezuelans here on the island. Um, and yeah, of course they have no time for Maduro at all. In fact, and one of them said to me, like, we're weirdly giddy, even though they had family, that was in some at some risk.
I mean, if you have a communist dictator, it is pretty hard not to be giddy when some fucking strapping young American beefcakes land in a Black Hawk helicopter and just snatch him out of his home and then take him away.
Did that happen? And and communist dictator, like, I don't know, all these labels, they're not that I'm wary of them.
That's a good
And I
point.
don't understand what Maduro was. I do understand, however, that people of course are talking about the oil because the US has been talking about Venezuela's oil since 9/11, as
Have they? I've never heard of it.
yeah,
Like, honestly,
yeah,
I was
that's why
like,
Chavez was the big boogeyman for a long time. No, Venezuela was certainly, the neocons were had their eyes on that. Um, but there's more to it. It's not just the oil.
yeah, yeah,
Biggest oil
no.
reserves in the world, but also, mineral reserves that are off the charts.
Oh yeah. And I heard
And
one of the things was it's like dirty crude oil that the US doesn't really have the plants to process. And they basically weren't doing it to get the oil, they were doing it to keep the oil from China and Iran because
right,
Venezuela apparently was showing this interest in joining BRICS, which leads me to
right.
ask the question, where the fuck is Brazil in all this?
Yeah, I
I mean,
know.
if Venezuela's Brazil's hat, Brazil's right there. They're part of BRICS. They're the beginning of BRICS.
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
fuck? Are they just kind of like sitting back, side eye, being like, oh my God, I hope Trump doesn't remember that we're in BRICS. I hope he
Well, of course,
doesn't.
we're not. How privy are we to good information or analysis about all of that anyway?
Mhm.
Like, it's like we don't really know what's happening in Iran. We don't really know what's happening in Ukraine.
No.
But I think you can kind of zoom out and see that what I keep harping on about, which is this like restructuring of the globe,
Hmm.
it's all part of that. It's
Oh,
certainly
yeah.
all part of that.
The globalists.
Well, it's not. So yeah, I don't think, even that term now I'm uncomfortable with because I think that implies for most people like a one world government with a single, authority at the top, a
Yeah.
centralized authority that is, one thing. And I don't think it's that. I think we're looking at the dividing of the world into maybe two or three different technates, the East and the
Mm.
West. They're all following the same plan and they're all using technocracy. That's the goal. And the principles of technocracy underpin all of this, but
Do
all
you
of the
think,
the fighting is just establishing territory so that this sort of new system can finally, sort of be emerge and be ratified.
yeah, it's almost like when you're talking there and you said like not those globalists or whatever, I was like, what if it's just like this global civil war? Where it's like when Alex Jones was talking about the globalists, you kind of felt like he was talking about like left-wing globalists, like led by the WEF, like Klaus Schwab and that sort of like Prince Charles kind of so like
Yeah.
globalist. And now you have like fucking Trump and the Zionist globalists who are like making their plans to do stuff. And then yeah, so I could definitely see like if you have like the states and like say
And
Israel and
parts of Latin America, parts of South America,
yeah,
parts of
like
the
Venezuela now,
Greenland.
Greenland
Right.
for sure. Like what if they're just like trying to get like the whole like North America, South America and lumping in Greenland in there. And
Yeah.
then the other thing I heard today was like that the UAE and Saudi Arabia are at war all of a sudden. That came out
Oh,
of nowhere.
Christ.
And like to me
That
that
can't be
just because
good.
like isn't Saudi Arabia super buddy buddy with the States?
Well, yeah, depending, yeah.
I mean, depending on not in
But
the year
these are
2001, apparently.
I know these things are all important and they do have real world effects and impacts,
Yeah.
but I never really escape this feeling that it is all kind of superficial stuff.
Yeah.
And we don't really understand the long game or the deeper game or the agreements that were made generations ago that are being really religiously pursued
Hmm. Yeah,
and which are accelerating right now.
the one thing I hate about global politics is there's so much you have to fucking know. You have to learn all this history, and every time you learn something new about it, it's just depressing. The more you know, the more depressing it is, and the more hopeless it feels.
Yeah.
And you got to just join up with Dan Bongino and fight the Black Pillars. He's on a
Oh,
quest. I don't know if you heard about him, but he was like on this quest to fight the Black Pillars who just say negative things on the internet. And I was like, Jesus Christ! Like,
important work.
if
I
anybody's poisoning the well, it's
I
fucking
think
Dan Bongino.
for sure. I've been amused this week in between moments of panic for my poor dog, who's
Yeah,
doing great. But amused by the on Twitter anyway, the fucking argument about one battle after another, which all
the
starts with
movie,
yeah,
is it
yeah.
good?
I really liked it. I loved it. I also, I'm not cool with its politics necessarily. Doesn't
Mm,
matter. Doesn't matter.
I
But
haven't watched it. Um,
Brianna
s-
Brianna Gray Joy or Joy Gray, what's her name? Bernie Sanders' old press officer who has that podcast called Bad Faith.
yeah,
She's
Brianna Joy Gray.
yeah, yeah. And then Virgil Texas disappeared.
I don't know who that is.
Well, that was her that was her co-host on Bad Faith.
Oh,
And
really?
then
He's just gone.
well, some things came out and then
Like
he
what?
was just
Did he get
gone.
milkshake ducked? He's just a
What that
terrible
means?
person behind the scenes.
He got accused of some things, I guess. Don't know if they're true, but
Was it
but
CP?
he didn't stick around to defend himself.
Was it CP? Was it planted by the NSA on his computer?
No, no,
Mm,
no. But it was, more like I don't want to say. Anyway,
okay.
he's gone, and it's never been addressed. He just was gone. But she's upset because she doesn't like Paul Thomas Anderson's politics or his depiction of black people and left-wing revolutionaries. And she thinks she's even gone so far as to say, really, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, that as a white Hollywood liberal, he doesn't understand the black experience. Now, there is some merit to that argument, but the way it's being applied here, I think, is specious and in bad faith. I think that I think she's wrong in a nutshell. But there are criticisms to be made about that film and its politics for sure.
Yeah.
Again, based on a Thomas Pynchon book, sort of, but Pynchon, yeah, they're very different. I got it. You want to hear a quote?
Yeah.
Here.
Quickly though, I heard that somebody was comparing one battle after another to Terminator 2.
No, that's not happening. What's happening is that there's a clip going around of Paul Thomas Anderson back in the 90s or whatever, talking about how he walked out of film school because his professor said, if you're here to make Terminator 2, get out of here or something. And
Mm.
Paul Thomas Anderson was like, what's wrong with Terminator 2? And he left. And then he became Paul Thomas fucking Anderson. Um,
I'm gonna
hold
look
on.
up Paul Thomas Anderson movies because I know that name, but I don't know which movies are his. And you,
Magnolia, Boogie Nights, There
oh, I
Will Be
like
Blood,
Magnolia.
The Master. Oh my God, The
I
Master,
hate
incredible.
There Will Be
It,
Blood.
Inherent Vice, amazing. Uh, what's the one? Punch Drunk Love.
Never seen it. Oh wait, I did. I didn't like it. Here, I'm gonna tell you the Paul Thomas Anderson movies I like, and then you could judge my personality on it while you're looking up that quote.
I don't
Let's
remember the
see.
guy's name. What was the name of Sigmund Freud's? Oh, that's it.
The Sauce Guy, Bernays.
Yeah, thank you. Here,
Um,
your rap game, Edward Bernays. Kind of had the last word on it for me.
Oh, he did
Uh,
Licorice Pizza. I never seen that.
oh, that great film.
Dude, why did he do so many Haim videos? What the
Oh,
fuck?
he's really into them.
He's done one, two, three, four, five, six Haim videos. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, Alana is in uh Alana Haim. I think it's
Yeah.
Haim.
Nine? There's two more. Jesus. I
She
like
she
Haim a lot. Whoa.
she's also in One Battle After Another.
Dude, he's done like 11 of their music videos. Oh, he's done some Radiohead. Dude, why is he doing so many music videos?
Well, so Johnny Greenwood does all of his soundtracks
Who's Johnny Greenwood?
from Radiohead,
Oh, okay.
and
The
he's great.
last,
His soundtracks are fucking great.
the
So
newest movie
here,
I've seen. Sorry, the
well,
newest movie I've seen of Paul Thomas Anderson is There Will Be Blood, and I fucking hated it.
fair enough. I really recommend Inherent Vice.
Okay,
Also based on a Pynchon novel. So Vineland. So here's my buddy Rap Game Edward Bernays on Twitter. This is he nails it. So One Battle After Another is kind of based on this Pynchon book called Vineland, which is published in the 80s. And he writes, Vineland reflected on the historical reality of American leftist revolutionaries, where nonviolent groups were infiltrated, wrecked, forced to snitch, or entrapped into violence. One Battle After Another reaffirms the empire's lies that revolutionaries were terrorists who did it to themselves. So that's kind of on point, but
nice.
I still really like the film, and I can forgive it for that.
Okay. The last movie of Paul Thomas Anderson's that I've seen that I liked is Magnolia from 1999.
Yeah.
So either I have terrible taste in movies,
No, you
which
got
is
terrible
quite
taste in
possible.
music, but you haven't seen The Master? You would love The Master because it's the story of Scientology. It's about L. Ron Hubbard,
Wait,
basically.
when did that come out?
Like 2015, maybe. It's a great movie.
It's not on this list.
The Master?
Yeah,
He's
are you
best
sure he
known.
directed it? Did he produce it?
No, he directed
Am
it.
I
He wrote and
looking at
directed it.
No, I'm looking at director.
Are you looking up Paul? There's another Paul Anderson. What's his name? The guy that made
No, because we said There Will Be Blood and Magnolia. Paul Anderson? I don't know who that
yeah,
is.
Paul Anderson who made
What's
what's
Anima? Oh, that's a
he
short.
made Event Horizon.
I love Event Horizon.
So there you go. Now you love
Are
a
you
Paul
joking?
Anderson
That's one of
film.
the best movies.
I've never seen it. I want to
Oh
very
my God,
badly.
dude. Watch Event Horizon and In the Mouth of Madness.
Yeah, In the Mouth of Madness is great. And then you got your what's the New Zealand guy, Sam Neill double bill.
Yeah, exactly. Sam Neill horror movie, double bill. Two of the
And
scariest movies ever.
do you know where I first saw Sam Neill? First time I ever saw him?
Where?
The Omen 3. The final whatever. Final
Oh wow.
countdown, is that what it's called?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
Damien turns into Sam Neill. It was like his first big role.
Oh wow. Was that before Jurassic Park?
Yeah, see, Event Horizon, way before. Oh my God, yes, like
Sorry.
82. Come on.
Sorry, I didn't
Event
know.
Horizon, directed by Paul Anderson, not Paul Thomas Anderson, Paul Anderson.
You know what I'm gonna say, Adrian? Based on
Andrea?
that one movie alone, I like Paul Anderson more than I like Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah, so there is a group of people out there, and you belong with them now, who hold that crazy opinion.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Dude, you have to watch Event
I
Horizon.
do. I know. Is it
Or
on
your mind
Tubi?
will be changed.
If it's on Tubi, I'm watching it tonight.
Tubi. Ugh. That's got commercials in it. Is
Oh,
it Paul
you're
W.S. Anderson?
so fucked. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he did Resident Evil Apocalypse.
Yeah. He makes
Oh my God.
it's fantastic. You got these two guys called Paul Anderson. They
Oh, he did
both
Monster Hunter?
did he? Oh,
Yeah.
but it's hard.
Oh, dude, Death Race?
The
Four
Final
Death Race
Conflict.
movies.
The Final Conflict. That was the name of the Omen film. And
Four
Sam
Death
Neill
Race movies.
for Death Race, based on what, the Death Race 2000
Yeah, but the reboot with Jason Statham.
oh
So
wow.
there's Death Race, Death Race 2, Death Race 3 Inferno, and Death Race Beyond Anarchy. I've only seen the first one, and you know what?
Beyond Anarchy.
You know what? Death
Can't
Race with
imagine.
Jason Statham is
Yeah.
better than There Will Be Blood.
Okay.
I could line up Paul Anderson movies versus Paul Thomas Anderson movies, and every Paul Anderson movie is gonna win because I love lowest common denominator movies.
I'm okay with this. I'm okay. I can't, Paul Thomas Anderson's movies, I haven't liked all of them, I'll be honest with you. But they have moved me. Licorice Pizza is really fucking fun.
I haven't seen it.
It's really fun. And it's,
Maybe
and
that's the problem is I've only seen Paul Thomas Anderson movies I hated, and then I gave up.
yeah, I think
Like
you'd love
everybody
Inherent
told
Vice.
me, you do not know how bitter I am for There Will Be Blood.
No, fair enough. I think you might prefer his less strenuous films, the ones he
Hmm.
does on it, his more relaxed films, like Licorice Pizza, like Inherent Vice.
Hmm.
The Master, maybe not, you wouldn't call it relaxed, but it's right up your alley, believe me.
Wait, fucking.
The fact that he got away with it too, and this is after he gave Tom Cruise one of his best ever roles, and kind of uh
Oh, this guy
with
did
like
Soldier?
what?
Soldier?
Oh, is that
1998 Kurt Russell?
Paul W.S. Anderson?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, yeah, he's good.
Mortal Kombat?
Mortal
Oh
Kombat.
my God. Fuck Paul Thomas Anderson, Paul W.S. Anderson, all the fucking way. I can't even I can't even believe the same guy made Mortal Kombat, Event Horizon, Soldier, and Death Race. Those
What's his
four
last
movies
credit?
alone.
What's his most recent?
Fucking Mount Rushmore of directors. Everybody suck my dick. This
Up
guy's better
there,
than your
there's
favorite
Paul
director.
W.S. Anderson, Michael Bay, James Cameron. Who's your fourth guy?
Oh, dude, James Cameron. Michael Bay I would take off because when I
Because
was in my 20s and I
he was
pretended to
part of
be
the
a serious
Epstein.
person with mature tastes, I taught myself to hate Michael Bay, and plus he made Con Air, and I can't
One of the
forgive him for
things that
that.
comes up in this William Ramsey Investigates podcast with the McCarthy lady who wrote Blue Butterfly
Yeah.
is she mentions a Hollywood filmmaker, very successful Hollywood filmmaker, who, upon visiting whatever facility Jeffrey Epstein was running at the time to harvest the ova of women, I think that was the Zorro Ranch. Uh, Michael, I mean, some famous Hollywood filmmaker turns around and makes this film The Island, which
Oh
is about the same
shit.
thing.
That's a good movie. And that I
Remember when he got beat up on set in China, or was it Hong Kong? It was one
don't
of
know.
the Transformer films. It was really weird. Some
He
like
got beat
fucking guy,
up
Michael Bay, got like shit kicked in front of the entire crew in I think Hong Kong anyway,
by
somewhere over there.
gangsters.
You tell me. It happened. I would assume yes by gangsters.
Well, I mean, like, was it the triad because he didn't like pay them off to film there or something?
Could be, but this is an extraordinary event. Are you looking it
That's
up?
crazy because he's
Yeah.
like America's sweetheart. Like he's the guilty pleasure. Like everybody loves Con Air, everybody loves The Rock, everybody loves Transformers, everybody loves Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Everybody like pretends they don't, and they're like, I like Paul Thomas Anderson because I'm a smart person and I like boring movies that are homework. I don't like Michael Bay, but
Did you
secretly we
like
all fucking
Michael?
love Michael Bay.
Did you like Pain and Gain?
No.
You can like both these things. You can like Michael Bay and Paul Thomas Anderson. You can like both Paul Andersons.
Okay, I will because I like
What are we
Magnolia
just
a
looking
lot.
at over what's what?
Oh, toddler banged on the door. That's my like you've been an hour, this toddler's going crazy. And I'm like, Andrea, I seriously have to scream about this underappreciated Paul W.S. Anderson for another half hour because his movies are great, and I will never be not bitter about people telling me that smart movies are good for me. Like fucking Lost in Translation. That was like
Oh, that
30
was
years
awful.
ago, and I still hate people who pretend that's a good movie.
That was an awful film.
Fuck. You ruined Bill Murray for like 5 years for me.
I want to see this Chevy Chase movie about Chevy Chase. You know, I'm Chevy Chase and you're not. Have you heard of this thing?
Is it a documentary?
Yeah,
Is it new or old?
it's new. It came out like last week,
That
and
explains why he's in my algorithm now. And you
yeah,
know
yeah,
what?
because it's just like everybody in the world saying, yeah, he's the worst person ever. And because this is, it's customarily for me, I'm just like, oh, and I want to defend him.
I do too, because I loved Chevy Chase when I was a
He
kid.
makes me laugh.
Dude,
I think
Fletch.
Chevy Chase, Fletch, did we talk about this? Fletch, great stuff. Fuck, whatever, Caddyshack. Can I tell you a quick story before we leave?
Hmm.
There's a deli on the island. It's run by a guy who is an Emmy Award winning TV writer. He's a comic writer,
What's
and he's
what did he write?
retired here. What?
What did he write?
I'm not gonna say.
Oh,
You can find out. He's a Salt Spring TV writer. I'm gonna
okay.
tell you the name of his deli. It's
Hmm.
called Buzzy's, and I'm gonna recommend anybody who's visiting Salt Spring. It's closed for the winter season, but when it
Oh
reopens,
my
oh,
God. You
yeah, I
guys
know.
are so
Like
cute.
we live in fucking
This fucking
Amityville.
deli closed for the winter.
I know.
For a fucking Vancouver Island winter. It
Yeah.
hasn't even been below zero yet.
Well,
And
it's
it's
not so much
closed.
that. It's not that. It's that there's nobody here to,
Yeah, because
spend.
everybody left for the fucking
Yeah.
Phoenix because you're all snowbirds except for you.
Yeah, yeah. And the tourists aren't here, right?
And it's funny because it's like you're snowbirds, but there's no snow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
tourists. Good
really been
point.
really mild this year.
Very good counterpoint. Maybe I hastily shat on your island a little early.
I
Maybe it's
wish you'd
not
come
because
over.
you all
I
got
would
to
love
sleep.
for you to actually come over and
Dude,
actually shit on
I
my.
want to come and
We
I
I'd be
want to shit.
happy. Salt Spring would welcome your shit, but because most of it just gets flushed right into the ocean.
Like a cruise
But
ship.
Buzzy's
Full
is actually a really good Jewish deli in
Salt Spring
downtown.
Island is a cruise ship. It's full of old people and they shit directly into the ocean.
That's right. You know what we do? We just hover our asses over the shoreline. That's
You each have a hole drilled through the island directly to the ocean,
how
and you just poop in it.
we have a creek system that runs all the way down through my property. It's kilometers long and it passes through my property. And we found out that the last people that owned this place had a septic system that was like dumping directly into the creek system.
Oh
Not good.
no.
Anyway, that septic system has been decommissioned. That's not happening anymore. Anyway, Buzzy, I walked in there one day with my son and I said, we just watched Caddyshack, me and the boy.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there talking about Caddyshack, and in walks Buzzy, Emmy Award winning comic
Hmm.
screenwriter. And I'm like, Buzzy, okay, Caddyshack. Like who wins MVP? Is it Bill Murray? Is it Chevy Chase? Is it Rodney Dangerfield? Or is it Ted Knight? And Buzzy gave it a lot of thought. And we finished our meal before he finally answered. He just sat at that win table by the window and stroking his beard. And he doesn't even have a beard. And he said, he goes, it's a tie. It's a tie. Murray and Dangerfield. And I'm like, no, it's Ted Knight. And he goes like this. He goes, yeah, yeah, it's Ted
Is
Knight.
Ted Knight the old guy who
Yeah.
spazzed out?
So now that doesn't tell you anything about Chevy Chase. Yeah, he
No, it
plays
doesn't.
Judge Smales.
Yeah.
But
I
Chevy
agree with you,
Chase,
Ted Knight, because he crashed out. We didn't even know what crashing out was back then. It's a new term that just describes what happening perfectly.
he's playing against these like three comic giants.
Hmm.
Chevy Chase was considered a giant at the time. And he kind of wipes the floor with all of them because you don't expect it. He was from the Mary Tyler Moore show. He had a career. He was
Hmm.
much loved, but he wasn't like this like high octane comic powerhouse like Rodney Dangerfield, Chevy Chase, or Bill Murray, who were also, well, Rodney Dangerfield wasn't. The other two were super hip, right? And
Hmm.
Dangerfield was like a hero to them. He'd been taken up by the young crowd. Ted Knight was a TV actor. He didn't get the same kind of respect back then, but he's so amazing in that film.
Yeah, I love Dangerfield though.
Yeah, no, he's great. They're
When
all
he
great. And
when
Chevy
he
Chase
dances.
is great. Yeah. No, the best line in that one is he's got that he's the whole time his character Hal Chernick, is that his name?
I
He's got that
guess.
guy with him. He's just like this Asian guy who's just taking pictures all the time. At one point, he introduces him to people. He goes, "This is my friend Wang. No offense." Fucking genius.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, I
I
gotta
gotta
go.
go.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm gonna come to your island and we're gonna watch Event Horizon.
Oh, okay. So I shouldn't watch it tonight
No, I'll
then.
watch it tonight. We'll watch a different movie.
Okay.
I'll make you watch some movie you hate. How's that?
I'll make you watch the fucking Master, and you'll love it, and
Okay.
you know, perhaps you'll get over this infantile thing you have about good movies.
Me get over something infantile? Doubt it.
Yeah,
All
okay.
my opinions were forged when I was 24. And 22 years later, I haven't dropped the grudge.
Fair enough. Don't ever change.
Okay. Until next time, stay angry.